And Carno Day 14 for us. It is Sunday morning and the boys are out doing chores before church. And I'm just sitting here trying to figure out what we're going to have for breakfast. So I didn't lay anything out last night as far as meat goes. So I'm thinking about making some oatmeal for the boys because we have it. And probably just some eggs and cheese for Josh and I this morning. Have some butter on the side. I do believe that we have some leftover chicken from Thursday night that, not sugar, that salt and butter smoked whole chicken. We had a few pieces left, so I'm probably going to warm that up as well. We'll just have like a hodgepodge for breakfast. Usually on Sundays we eat a bigger lunch, and so it's a little bit reversed from the previous days. We usually eat a big breakfast and we're not hungry at lunch, and then we'll eat dinner. But today we'll have a bigger lunch, and then we might have a small breakfast and a small dinner. If we get hungry, we'll have a small dinner. So in the background, we've got some brown butter bites going. I had made some earlier this week, so I'm making them like every few days because those are just a quick grab and they're really good. But they didn't turn out good. I don't think I browned them good enough. And so I'm re-browning. I'm melting down the ones again that I had already made that they did not have a good taste. And then I put a new ball of butter in there as well. So hopefully those turn out better. I'm gonna let them go longer. I don't think I let them go long enough. So that's the plan this morning. Gonna kind of hodgepodge some stuff together. Change of plans. I forgot that we actually tore up that chicken on Friday afternoon as like a little pre-snack. And so we don't have any of that chicken left. It got devoured. But we do have a little bit of steak left from last night and yesterday morning. So I'm going to make steak and eggs right now. And I'm going to do a little bit different because we've had a lot of steak and eggs the past 2 nights, which is fine. But I'm going to cut up what's left into like scrambled eggs and kind of just make like a egg stir fry, if you will.
Ones made me have 200, so we're gonna do $100 bill. Tower the bill.
That stuff I put on that clock is like a finisher that helps. Week 2.
We made it. So this is day 14, and we're going to give a recap of this previous week and what we've learned and all that.
All right, so what was your positives for the week?
Positives, health-wise or food-wise?
Both.
Okay, I'll start with food-wise. Really love the chicken we made this week.
It was really good.
It was just chicken, salted, set it overnight, smoked it, beef tallow and butter, and we've done it twice, and it is my new favorite way of doing chicken.
It's amazing.
Yeah. No seasoning at all. I'm a seasoning guy, and it's simple and delicious.
Very good.
What about you food-wise?
Well, how about health-wise?
Health-wise. So health-wise, we got electrolytes on day, was it 11?
So 3 days ago?
3 days ago. I've had one every day since, and I'm feeling a lot better. I was feeling kind of like sluggish, draggy, and the electrolytes has helped. So I wish we would have had that to begin with.
From the beginning.
Yeah.
So we had ordered them. It just took a long time to get in. And then when they did get in, the brand we ordered, we realized that they had stevia in them, and we're not wanting to do that right now. And so we ended up going with a different brand, and they had a whole lot better shipping, got here super fast, and they have a raw element, and they have a raw version, and that's what we've been taking. I haven't had mine today, and I can tell the difference. So we're coming in on nighttime now, and I'm getting sluggish and tired, and I could go crawl into bed. So they make a huge difference.
And what we've noticed with the element is our taste buds are different. I don't think it's really salty. I think it's kind of a bland salt. She thinks it's really salty, and the kids thinks it's really salty.
Yeah.
So our taste buds are a little different.
Right. And if I put it in just like this is the cup that I had the first day, and about this size, and I couldn't do it. I had to put the whole pack in here and put water and ice in it, and I ended up having to fill my Stanley cup up and pour it in my Stanley cup, and I had to fill that cup up 3 different times before I could finish the water with all the electrolytes in it. So it's been a process. Now that was day 1, but yesterday when I tried it, I was able to just gulp it right down, but I hadn't drank water, and so I was extremely thirsty, and so it wasn't as bad. So I'm hoping that it's an acquired taste that I'm going to get used to.
Another thing that I felt, if you recall, if you watched the kickoff video, one of my issues I want to get resolved with this elimination carnivore diet is the digestive issues, trying to figure out what foods affect me. And I've seen a lot of improvements there, not a lot of issues, because we've eliminated a lot of things from our diet. And what hasn't hit us yet, and I've saw kind of horror stories, comments on carnivore groups about week 2, week 3, week 4, you have to stay near a toilet. It hits you hard. That hasn't hit us yet, thankfully. Maybe it won't, because I guess our diets are kind of used to this before we started, eating healthy, that kind of thing. So it may not affect us too bad. And then I'm going to add something on the digestive in a minute. So what is your positive and negatives?
Positive for the week. Let's see. As far as food wise goes, I really, really enjoyed the Carno waffles. That was amazing. And then I made one night I made Carno waffles for buns for our hamburgers, and those hamburgers were awesome.
Waffle burgers.
Yeah.
It was beef, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was beef.
So really good.
That was very good. And then, which I've loved all the meals, but my food negative was the cube steak and gravy. I think it was the gravy that kind of threw everything off.
It was different.
Yeah, it was leftover from a few days before that when we cooked some roast in the crock pot last weekend. We had saved like all of the juices and stuff, because all I had used was salt and butter on that roast, and then we saved the juices. And so all I did was mix those with cream cheese, and it was different. Poured it over the top of that cube steak. That wasn't my favorite, and that was actually one of the harder meals that we've had tried to get the boys to eat. And I told him that that's probably not one that I'll make any time again in the future.
I ate all the leftovers.
Yeah, so Josh did like it, so he ate the leftovers. It didn't go to waste. So that was my food negative. Positive health-wise is feeling better. So this time last week, I was like, feel like I've been hit by a bus, don't have any energy, irritable, just tired. I don't feel good, and took a turn this week. I felt like Tuesday morning I woke up and I was like, wow. And I think I'm going to do multiple positives, because sleeping. Have you been sleeping a lot better?
Yeah.
Like, I will admit, by the end of the day, even with these electrolytes, which we've only been on for 3 days now, I'm tired. Like, I'm ready to go to bed by 8 o'clock. I'm done for the day. I'm ready to crawl into bed and crash. And when we crash, like, we are crashing. I feel like, me personally, I'm sleeping amazing. And then we're up. He's up early for farm chores, but then I'm up right behind him at 6:30ish, just running around doing stuff. And so that's a big change. Not so sluggish anymore, and that's huge. That was one of the main reasons that I wanted to try carnivores, for the health benefits of it. I've personally lost 5 pounds. You've lost about...
I've lost 2 since we started, and I've maintained. I haven't lost any more. My goal again isn't to lose weight. So I might start trying to work out tomorrow.
Yeah. So just on that realm of things, I don't think either one of us are like real concerned about the weight side of things. Both of us had other things that were at the top of the list before weight. But just to let you know, I've lost about 5 and he's lost around 2. And then I guess negative health-wise, I don't really have any negatives this week health-wise. My digestive system has, praise the Lord, gotten back into track, because that was an awful experience last week. And so that's gotten under control, and it's been good. I've gotten used to the coffee, just milk and coffee in the mornings. I've even omitted the butter because it was just chunking up too much. So I don't know. It's been a good experience.
The magnesium spray that we use, it knocks me out when I put it on. Put it on our feet, and you put it on your stomach once.
I put it on my stomach to just try to help with digestive
Was that
issues.
the night that you scared me to death
No.
about peeing my pants?
The night that I had a night terror, I put it on my feet. So I haven't done that since. But I'm prone to night terrors and stuff.
She woke up screaming.
Yeah.
Like somebody was in her room.
If you don't know what night terrors are, it's just like where I dream something, and usually I do it. I've had them all my life, but usually I do it when I'm really, really tired, and I have been really tired. But specifically put the magnesium on my feet that night. May not have anything to do with it, but anyways, it's like a blood curdling terror of a scream.
I don't really go to sleep much after that.
Yeah, and so my parents, my sister, my best friends, they've all experienced those, but I had one of those the other night, and so that was fun. But anyways, magnesium has helped a lot. I had mentioned in one of my videos last week that I was so excited to get those electrolytes because I had Charlie horses the night before in my calf muscles. They were what is that word? Clenching up at night.
Yeah.
And I was excited about that. I will say that I had them again last night. And I've had them growing up. I did sports all my life growing up. I was in all the sports. And so I'm used to it, and I've learned how to like relax my muscle enough for it so I don't go into a full-blown Charlie horse, because that's awful. But I'm hoping as those electrolytes get in my system that's going to knock those. So I guess if I had a health negative this week, it would be those Charlie horses that I've started.
To add to the digestive topic, if you recall on the recap video, I mentioned that on week 2, I'm going to try to introduce dairy, specifically milk, back into my diet. And it's now week 2. And as much as it pains me and as much as I crave it, I think I'm going to hold off on introducing our milk. Not just any milk now. This is grass-fed A2A2 raw milk, aka real milk, aka pet milk, wink wink, aka white lightning.
It is.
This is the real deal. As much as it pains me, I am going to hold off a little bit longer, because the carnivore diet, and the reason we're kind of doing this is it's an elimination diet to try to get your system clean of everything, and then slowly introduce back, if you want to down the road, things to see if it affects you. Well, if I introduce raw milk now and I haven't seen the benefits that I'm going for, then I'm throwing a variable into play that might be causing my digestive issues. Hopefully not. I love this stuff. It might be causing my inflammatory issues. But milk is naturally anti-inflammatory. But what if it's not for me? So I'm going to hold off on the milk for the time being, as much as it pains me. Just going to wait a little longer and see what happens.
I haven't from the beginning. So like I mentioned before, I just put it in my coffee. So
just a little bit. But you don't drink a whole glass.
Well, listen, no, I do dilute it, because I mean, like I've talked about, I can't handle coffee. So like we're talking, I'll put this much coffee in the rest of its milk. So I'm actually getting more milk now on Carnivore than I had before Carnivore, because in the past I was using protein powder and it had seed oil in it, and so I've nixed that. So now I'm using more milk, which I feel like is a healthier alternative. But we'll see. I mean, like I said, I don't feel like it's affected me negatively. That's not something I eliminated. So that's the difference as far as our diets go. Now, you are eating cheese.
Yeah, it's the only dairy I'm eating. And we added sour cream.
You had sour cream.
On day 9.
Yeah, so we've had cream cheeses. We introduced cream cheese for the first time this week. That's the first time I've cooked with it. So you are doing things like that.
Yeah, but not just milk directly yet.
Yeah. So do you want to go over some of the meals that we had this week?
Yeah. So if you haven't seen those videos, I'll put the link below and you can catch up. On day 8, we had egg waffles and leftovers from the chicken we had on Sunday. And then day 9, we had the beef tacos. Those were amazing.
Those were good.
Yeah, made carnivore cheese taco shells.
I forgot about those, and that was on a whim too.
Yeah,
we
just
had
out
not
of the
even
blue.
planned to make that. And Josh came in and was like, "Hey, we got this beef, and that's just browned. What if we tried this cheese taco thing?" And we did, and oh gosh, that was good.
We'll do that again. That was really good.
We need to do that this week.
That's when we use sour cream. And then day 10, we had steaks, beef and egg waffles with duck eggs. I like the duck eggs. You're not too crazy about duck eggs?
I don't like duck eggs by themselves. So if I'm frying it and like putting it over my steak and eating my steak with the egg at the same time, I can handle it. But for lunch, my sister had cooked lunch for us, Sunday lunch today, and they've all been great about as we're on this diet and stuff and kind of catering to our needs. But she had boiled some duck eggs for us, and I could eat one, and I would eat a piece of chicken as I ate the egg. You like them, fine. You can't tell a difference, but I don't know. Maybe it's a mental thing.
And then day 11, we had the whole spatchcock chicken and then the cube steak. Again, the chicken was amazing that way we cook it with the beef tallow, butter, and just salt. Hands down, I love that method that way. And then day 12, we went to Cracker Barrel, and that was her first time eating out.
My first time, yeah.
And that went over fairly well. They were very accommodating. We told them this is what we want. We can't have this. So you can see that in the video. I kind of filmed it, pointed up at the ceiling, but I filmed it. What'd you think about that?
Oh, well, I'm just spoiled with our steaks.
Yeah, that's true.
So we do our steaks, and so when you, especially when we've been eating them like we have, nothing compares. And so
subpar.
Yeah, it was.
Elsewhere.
But I'm thankful that we were able to go out and we were able to stay on track, because that mentality of like, oh, I could just blow it and then get back on track. What's one meal? You know, a lot of people when they're dieting, that's kind of how they get off track. And even when we left Cracker Barrel, it was like, wow, we could have really derailed there, like with the biscuits and all the stuff.
Smells so good.
And it's just
fried everything.
Have you had any kind of like, I have to have this right now? What is that? A craving? Any kind of cravings? Like even when I open the fridge or the pantry and the kids have their still snacks and stuff left over from before we did this, it's like, I don't want that.
Papa D's beef jerky.
Oh, beef jerky.
No, deer jerky, my bad.
Deer jerky.
The deer jerky. I've been craving that. I can't have it because it's marinated in Worcestershire.
Marinade. Yeah,
marinade, so we can't have that.
Yeah.
So I've been craving the deer jerky. It smells so good. Yeah. Papa D, by the way, is Andrew, brother-in-law.
But Cracker Barrel was for supper, and that morning is when Josh finished off the gravy and cube steak. For me personally, that morning I was out of the house early, and so I had just made my coffee and my milk, and I did not have anything to eat until I got home, and we finished off the whole chicken, right? We all sat here and just kind of picked out.
Ate it cold. We were starving.
We were hungry. And that was right before we left to go eat at Cracker Barrel. So. And
then yesterday you made pancakes. Those are really good.
Those were different. So it was just a block of cream cheese and 4 eggs in a blender. And we haven't introduced honey. That'll be later on. And so they were very light. They were fluffy, but the taste was nothing like a homemade buttermilk pancake like I would make all the time with the kids. So that was different. But if we had honey introduced, and we will get there eventually, they would have been fantastic. And that's how the kids ate them. I didn't make special ones for the kids. The boys ate them with honey over them. So it was fine once that was added. Then last night was steak and eggs. We ate at my dad's last night, and
they cooked steak and eggs
for us, and it was fine. So a lot of steak and eggs this past week, but it's good. I mean, really good. Snack wise, keep some cheese in the fridge and boiled eggs.
Different types of cheeses.
Yeah, the brown butter bites. Those have been a huge hit here. I'm making them probably every other day just because that's kind of a go-to, popping those butter bites.
Pork rinds.
Pork rinds occasionally. So, but the snacking is really non-existent.
Very low.
Yeah,
compared to what it used to be.
Just not really hungry.
Very fulfilling what we eat.
Right, and so we're kind of stuck to a big breakfast
and a big supper
and a big dinner, and then lunch is kind of, if you want something light, grab it. But other than that,
anything else?
No. We're just trucking along.
All right, so we're going to call this one a wrap. If you're liking what you see, hit the tag button, follow button wherever you're watching this from. Give us a thumbs up. It helps us reach more folks and grow. We appreciate it. So until next time, see you on the next one.
Bye.